Aurora's fire union says its firefighters don't want to use any new sedatives, especially after the death of Elijah McClain. However, the city's medical director introduced a new drug.
Tonight and first on Denver 7, we are learning Aurora City leaders are stepping in, pushing a ban on new chemical sedatives. Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kovaleski is breaking this story.
And Jen, tell us exactly what this new proposal is.
Ann and Jessica, this is a 3-year ban on the introduction of any new sedatives, including droperidol. City leaders tell me they wish they didn't have to get involved, but say now is not the time to start using a new drug. The practice of sedating patients came under the spotlight after the death of Elijah McClain. Aurora Fire paramedics injected him with the sedative ketamine.
We have 2 firefighters on trial for murder for using what they were told is safe.
3 police officers and 2 Aurora Fire paramedics are facing criminal charges in his death.
Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
I introduced an ordinance to ban the use of ketamine.
Aurora City Councilman Curtis Gardner helped stop firefighters from using the powerful sedative 2 years ago. He's now pushing a ban on any new chemical sedatives for 3 years.
I just don't understand why we would take the risk of introducing an additional sedative while those charges are still pending.
He plans to bring this 2-page resolution before council next week. It comes after Aurora's medical director introduced a new rapid-acting sedative called droperidol last month.
This is a widely used medication across the state of Colorado. Every Denver metro agency uses this approach as well.
Just because everybody else does something doesn't mean it's appropriate for us. Other cities don't have firefighters on trial for murder.
Aurora's fire union says it fully supports Gardner's ban. Union President Travis Pulliam told us in August he doesn't understand why the city is pushing droperidol.
There hasn't been an incident since the ketamine has been taken away from us, so we don't understand the urgency to bring back another one.
Are there hesitancies among your members, among firefighters, to inject anybody with anything?
Absolutely.
Why are we doing this?
Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky is co-sponsoring the resolution and has already raised her own concerns.
All it takes is one time for something to go wrong.
I don't think it should have taken city council to step in. I just don't understand the timing of this. At the end of the day, my job is to advocate for our firefighters.
Aurora Fire Rescue says it hasn't seen the resolution yet. The fire agency defended adding the new sedative back in August. It called droperidol an additional option, one of the best options to care for some of our patients. Gardner thinks he has support for this to pass. Now, the resolution would take effect immediately. Ann?
All right, Jen, thank you for that. And tonight, our investigative team went deeper into droperidol and the history of its use here in the United States. Now, the drug was first discovered back in 1961. Droperidol was used as a sedative as well as a treatment to prevent nausea and vomiting in patients immediately following surgery. And then 40 years later, in 2001, the drug received a black box warning from the FDA, which are those labels you often see on the side of prescription bottles. And the FDA warned that even low doses of droperidol can cause an irregular heartbeat and possible cardiac death if it's given in a high dose. And once the black box warning was issued, the use of droperidol significantly declined, and many hospitals stopped using it. Well, then in 2015, the American Academy of Emergency Medicine ran multiple studies on the drug and concluded that droperidol is safe to use. A few years after the 2015 study was released, use of the drug reemerged and began being produced on a large scale by manufacturers.
And it's important to note, Aurora firefighters do have a sedative they currently use. That's called Versed. It's a drug they've been using for decades. This ban being pushed by city leaders won't impact the use of Versed by firefighters. The fire union says that sedative is working just fine, and they aren't sure exactly why Aurora Fire wants to add droperidol to their toolkit. And if you would like to read more of our in-depth coverage on droperidol and the use of sedatives in Aurora, visit our website, denver7.com. You can also watch our past investigative stories on the free Denver 7 Plus app.